Alright, sound test, is everything working fine? Can you guys see me? Can you guys see me? No, Kaylee, you're wrong. Although a lot of the games are against bacon. Everything good? You can hear me? You can see me? I'm not seeing any indication in the chat. Awesome. Cool, cool. Thank you. Back to the music. Back to the music. Alright, it is time for Tutorial Tuesday. If you are here to not learn, you should leave, because we're here to learn. I hope we are. So, what's going on? So tonight's Tutorial Tuesday is on what I like to call analyzing the party. And analyzing the party consists of reading the crowd, reading the geography, and reading your opponent is how I like to define it. That's the best way to put it. In that, I mean, the AIs act funny, and you can react to that. You can figure that out. Um, and there's a lot of cool stuff that I can say about it. There's a lot of cool descriptions I can give, like that definition I just gave. But I want to pull up something that I feel like gives a good but brief example of what this can be. So why don't we? Why don't we? Why don't we? It is on. I'm jumping around clips today. I know it's crazy. Crazy talk, you say, Drawn. I say, yeah, I'm kind of crazy. Alright, so we go right over here. Oh, what's that? It's gray stuff. So, oh. We're gonna go right here and we're just gonna watch this clip. I'm gonna be nice and quiet, I swear.
When the banana bread happens. So, for me as sniper, I only get like 2 or 3 lowlights at best from a banana bread. when I play on this map, even if 50 people are out of conversation. I have a feeling he's watching books. So let's squeeze in front of her like that. Um, and it would appear that he's most interested in the red and yellow shelf. And I have an idea that he's probably watching those two shelves, and if anybody returns a foreign book to those shelves, then he'll know it was a blue shelf, or a blue book. At least that's what I think is going on here. Oh, that was beautiful.
Alright, now, that wasn't like a crazy, ridiculous, KCM wins doing everything perfect. He died there, and that happens. We all die. But I wanted to point out his assessment of Bacon right there, because it wasn't that he kind of the bug plopped and Bacon just jumped over there at the right time. I mean, good job on Bacon. Uh, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about this what we just saw, which is KCM's playing. He's trying to figure out what Bacon's doing, which is hard. I want to say it's very hard to figure out what your opponent's doing, but I want to go into that. And he he tries his best to say, I think you're doing this, and I'm going to use that to my advantage. And that's part of reading the party. That's reading your opponent specifically, but stop it. So this next part, I don't know why I didn't
That was
say
hideous.
Bad timing that I swung around right there.
So he was marking books, he was marking red
How many
and
times
yellow.
did you time out? Twice?
So
Twice.
So he goes in the logs, which is a great tool, by the way, and he says to himself, he is marking books. These are important. This is something that Bacon is clearly looking at. If you look over here, I mean, it's true. And if we go back, just briefly, in this clip, maybe not that briefly. Yeah, sure. So look where the laser is. Look where it is, because he says he's watching these yellow bookcases and these red ones. So just watch where Bacon's laser is. I'm going to mute this for now. But just try and take a gander over at where his laser is, and try and figure out why Casey might think this. And I mean, some of these parts are how you're able to tell these things. He gets in a good angle. You can see it's right over here if you can't make that out. And he is just, he jumps over here, he jumps over here. He's jumping all over the place. But KCM thinks he's seeing a pattern. And I would say that's pretty important because when you're playing SpyParty, if you can find a pattern in your opponent, you can probably abuse it. A good time to pause. At least that's how I see it. So, I mean that's kind of more like a bit of an intro to what I want to go into. That's not the whole tutorial. Don't worry about that. It's just kind of fascinating to show a nice little intro on about reading your opponent. And I'm taking all these games from KCM and Canadian's Bacon set from about a week ago now, and I'd like to thank both of them for playing and letting me use them. You can find a KCM at twitch.tv/KCM and Canadian Bacon at twitch.tv/CanadianBAC0NZ. Just want to get that out of the way, because I mean they deserve a shout out. So what's going on? So sometimes you figure out that your opponent might I'm tempted to just let this game just speak for itself. Sometimes you figure out your opponent might not always be not the fastest to figure out what's going on, but takes a little a bit of time, because all snipers take some time to get their bearings.
Although one is like...
And I would say this is a great example of using that to one's advantage and just saying, I'm not going to crush you because of it, but I'm just going to run at your face and just hope, well, not hope, but, well, here, I need to be quiet.
debatably blue. Navy is so, like, closer to black. Ready. No swap. I'm not swapping. Let's see if I can get that banana bread rush that I've wanted for like 50 games.
Banana bread.
And this is going to be a quick game. I'll either get shot instantly or I'll win very, very quickly. Either is okay with me, although I'd rather win quickly. Goodbye, seduction target. Instead, I'll just I'll steal that guest list. And that's game.
All right. So, what we just saw, I'm gonna go over this again, was KCM. He goes in with a plan. He says, "All right, I wanna rush the banana bread. I know I'm looking at the camera. You guys can't see me. I want to rush the banana bread. I want to do missions fast. I don't want to give Bacon time to think about anything." And he does that. And I kind of want to jump into that a little bit. I think there's some interesting decisions that he made. That although he pre-decided some of them, um, he knew what was going on. So let's look at this. I'm gonna mute it this time. So at the beginning, he mentions about how how maybe this is finally the game where he can rush his banana bread. And I looked through a lot of these games, and there was a lot of awkward beginnings for KCM, at least as a spy, where he just could not do that kind of strategy. And he walks in, he takes control, and sees that maybe he can follow the seduction target into a CC. Oh, even better, the ambassador and his seduction target, all right there, amazing. He starts his flirt the moment he walks in, and he's going for this. Things can totally be screwed up for him, but he's going for it. He does the ballsy bug. He gets the green test on both BB and DA, or Banana Bread, and he goes to inspect. Whoa. Alright, cool. So, I mean, he already has 3 of his missions done, by what, 2:30? That's ridiculous. I mean, that is not common. That is not often. That is, I mean, that's crazy. And he went in with a plan. But what we're talking about is reading the party, and part of that, I would say this is on some level reading your opponent. I would say this is saying, I don't think Bacon's going to be able to handle this easily. I mean, he can, sure. I mean, Bacon's a great player, but the idea is that you're taking advantage of how poorly he might be able to handle this. So now things don't go all his way. And that's a little bit more of what I want to talk about, because he goes over here to ideally finish up Flirt. If that guy had left, things might have gone differently. But KCM says, all right, I'm not going to be wacky. I'm not going to be goofy here. I'm going to try and keep playing for real. What does he do? He calls Toby right on over and says, I can purloin. This is perfect. I'm just going to nab the purloin and just you win it, because I want to win it fast. I don't want to give Bacon any time to think about what has happened. And that's basically what he does. And what's kind of cool though is that if we rewind a bit, if we rewind about here, yeah. So he puts away the statue. He heads over here, and here's where the decision making comes into play. Let's pause right here. His plan is currently to seduce. We all know this. He's already at 51%. That is his game plan. He even mentions it. And then this happens. His ST walks out, and he's just annoyed. But he doesn't take the play to go just, oh, I'm going to go, yeah, green test because I'm a badass. He decides to say, I'm going to ignore that. I don't need to worry about that. I'm going to play it calm. I'm going to play it cool. And I am going to call Toby right on over and just purloin in front of his face. Because odds are he doesn't think I'm done. Because at 2 minutes and 20 seconds, I wouldn't think my opponent's done, usually. And usually it's not the best idea to call Toby over from across the room, but he has some leeway, like with this white test here, because it's rather rare that anybody wins this early, generally speaking. I mean, it totally happens, like now. But I would say that he used the time indication, because I mean Bacon's analyzing the party too. Any sniper is as well, as we'll see. Um, you analyze the party from both sides, more so as the sniper in some ways, which is probably why I'm going a bit over more a spy. Although there is some sniping portions, trust me. And this is just a great example, in my opinion, of analyzing the party as a whole. The whole situation is a good way of putting it, but I feel like party fits a bit better for the game as a phrase, and you use it to your advantage. You say, I'm going to take every little tidbit I can, every little option, and maximize the efficiency I can get out of it. And that's what I call analyzing the party. Um, I think that was greatly played by KCM. I don't think, Bacon played it poorly by any means, but I mean, he just knew where he was going. He went for it, and he did it. Um, let's see. So yeah, in a game of SpyParty, you have a lot of options, and they're hard to always parse. Is that the right word I want to use? Yeah, I think like parse, to figure out, to consider. Because in a game of SpyParty, you only have so much time. If you had infinite time as sniper, you could always suss out the spy. If you had infinite time as spy, you could eventually wear down the sniper, or, get them confused or some such. And that's why considering your options, especially as spy, is usually pretty tough. I know I've lost games as sniper, though, because I was thinking too much about what was going on, which is almost comical. Let's see. Alright. If you, there's an interesting flip side, though, to, well, so we go different one. There's a good number of clips I have from these, because I think there's a lot that could be talked about. I really like this next clip, actually. I'm a huge fan of it. I love love what's going on here. It's pretty neat. So, jump over that time. Now I'm gonna mute myself over here because, well, I don't think I need to talk.
So if Orange Dress is here, I'm going to highlight him too. 3-2, 3-1, 3-2, 3-1. And I'm highlighting Blue Danger because that's Canadian Bacon's favorite character to play. So that was a really quick visit. He went there when I wasn't looking, and he dropped the statue after a very short time, so... But he did not swap. So why would he drop the statue so quickly and not swap? Seems like an odd choice. I don't know if Blue Dress had good pathing or bad pathing there. It's kind of hard to say. Not him, because he tried to go for briefcase and then gave up before he even got there. She's been in a lot of empty conversations. And that's not usually a reason to highlight, but I'm going to highlight just instinctively there. He hasn't moved all game. That's one cool thing about randomly highlighting somebody at the beginning of a game, is that you can tell when they don't do shit, and then you can lowlight them. Even if he is the spy, I don't think he's going to finish his missions very easily. That was weird, so that's a highlight. Don't think it's her. 3-1, 3-2. Nobody is purloined. Did she swap? I don't know. She didn't get a white swap, that's for sure. Ooh, that looked bad, and there was no reason for her to repath as far as I can tell, so... 6, 25, 24... You are going to die. Oh God, no.
That was my entire strategy. Don't take control, get low, let's frame someone.
Actually, that explains why she moved so strangely to the statue, because she got called to it.
Yeah.
So I love this. When I saw this game, I was like giggling because it embodies um, a lot of being aware. And what's funny is he does it in a way which is kind of interesting because if you look, he didn't even take control till there's a minute left. So he wasn't being aware of the active of the geography of the AI. He was being aware of his opponent again. Probably because we're all usually somewhat aware of the AI and the geography. It's something we've come to know and love. But each opponent brings different things you need to look out for. Um, so so what Bacon did, and I know this was just said, but I wanna say it out loud because it was just amazing. Is he doesn't take control because he know that KCM he lowlights not liberally, but he lowlights a lot of people for things he might think he could do, perhaps. And so Bacon goes, all right, I'm gonna get low lit if I don't take control because I'm gonna just be an AI for 2 minutes. Odds are I'm gonna do something wacky. And of course he gets low lit at 136. So then he proceeds to green test swap. KCM notices the swappy on her train on her way to the statue because her pathing is odd. It looks odd. Now what KCM of course realizes later is that it was just her movement, because she was forced as an AI to go to the statue. That happens. We all know that happens, or at least I think most of us do, and if you don't now you do. And so he sees that, he goes around to bait for the swap, and then he sees the swap as he imagines it. Um, and I think that is beautiful. Oh my gosh. It's so well played. It's so perfect. I mean, framing, I would say, is one of the harder things, and one day I'm tempted to do a tutorial on it, but not yet. Tutorials, framing's pretty hard, so it's something I don't want to just jump into. And what's even funnier is that KCM realizes moments after I pause that he didn't need to shoot because he didn't hear BB. He didn't see the purloin. He had to see one of those things, but he was so sure that was the spy, he shot. And that was that. Wow. Just sometimes, man, sometimes, and that was. I mean, that's ridiculous. Um. So I wanna go over what Bacon did there because I think it was fantastic. I wanna just go over it. So um basically, so they both go into this game, and Bacon says to himself, because it's obviously pre-planned, you take control 9 times out of 10 unless you have a reason, and Bacon had a reason. His reason was, I'm not going to take control because I know how KCM plays to a degree, and I'm going to use that against him. I am going to say, odds are I'm going to get low lit if I don't take control, and he probably saw himself do some wacky or something he would normally do, and so he got low lit. And after that, he waited for a person he thought was high lit, um, to go to statues. That failed. The person was snaps. And then he just green tested, and there was a bit of luck, of course, but he basically used KCM against himself, which is just beautiful, and it's something you can do. It's something you can do against many players if you know what they're doing. If you know what people highlight low lit for, specifically, I mean generally helps too, but specific, you can pretty much just ruin most players, at least a spy. Um, and then so Bacon says, all right, so I'm gonna go for this. I'm gonna make this mine, and he follows through. He doesn't like, oh, this is a good opportunity to block. I'm gonna stop. He doesn't say, oh man, I could totally seduce, and this would be amazing. No, 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 no. He says no. I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna just be calm. I'm not gonna worry about what KCM is doing. If you see something wacky, because sometimes AIs do get you shot. I know I've been shot while being an AI. It kind of sucks. But I'm just going to relax. I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna stick to my plan, and it worked. It just that, gosh, it's not the level of dedication. I mean, it's only one game. It's not like he did a whole series where he framed people every game. But it just the follow through, the ability to pull it off. successfully. Even if there was luck, even if there was chance, there was also skill involved. He knew KCM was a high enough caliber player for it to work on him. It wouldn't work on a new player, and it probably wouldn't work on most intermediate players, I'd bet you. But it worked on KCM, and that is just amazing. And what's neat is how he knew, and I want to go over that briefly because part of this is showing you guys how you can learn these things. And so one of them was he knew because KCM is a high level player. It's not hard to discuss or learn a lot of things about high level players, in my opinion, because we're all rather open, which is really nice. I like that. So KCM, Bacon goes, all right. So I'm fairly certain this is how he highlights and lowlights. We talk about it, post game every game. So I have a good understanding. I'm gonna try, and I'm gonna use that specifically against him. And he knows the map, he knows what's going on, and he takes all those risks, and it pays off. And in a way, that's a lot of what SpyParty is. It's taking a whole bunch of risks, it's playing well or playing poorly, and seeing what happens, seeing if it pays off, seeing if your opponent plays on the level you expect them to. Either up or down, it can still mess up your game plan, trust me. And geez, man, that game was amazing. I feel like I'm gushing over it. That is how much I enjoyed it. Oh gosh. Um, and what's neat about figuring out the party, or analyzing the party as I like to call it, is that it's not just about your opponent. I know the first two examples really exemplified that. Really said, well, yeah, it's just knowing what your opponent will highlight and lowlight for. It's being able to figure them out, knowing if they're a bit slower to figure out everything, they might miss some of these kind of strong tells, or you know, figuring out why they highlight and lowlight and using that against them. And this next clip I have, I actually saw it on another stream that was not KCM stream, and I was just aghast. It's a great clip. I love it. Let's see if I can find it right here. It is boom, 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 boom. Alright, so we got this right here. Alright, so this is a game that KCM is playing, not Bacon. Apparently his side got deleted. It's all good. And this one, it's partially him analyzing his opponent, Bacon, and partially him analyzing the geography and the AI and figuring out how best to do everything. And I'm gonna mute myself. I'm just gonna let you guys watch because I feel like most of it's self-explanatory, but I am gonna go over what happens in a moment. So let's do this.
Oh god, the double agent's in a bad spot. I can't do it. Instead, I'll just double time add. How many can I get away with? Let's do 3. That was a pretty smooth bug. He may be suspicious of it, but I kinda don't think he was.
And the end of red.
I was here all along. I'm gonna make myself invisible for a little while. Well, this is not invisible, but people don't really watch the paintings, and I kind of want them to forget that I exist. Let's go to another painting, not read my book, and eventually I'm gonna put this in the wrong shelf, and then all that's left is swap in Purloin. And he won't know that this mission has been finished, so he will still have to watch for it. Ooh, now's a good time. Am I gonna get shot? No, I'm not gonna get shot. Alright, I'm in a really good position. I don't think I've been high lit. I don't think I've been low lit either. Now Toby's gonna ignore me because What the hell, Toby? Eh, screw it. Kind of, throwing around banana bread a lot is not good for me.
Banana bread.
Let's do it again. Why not? Why not?
I don't know what's up with these banana breads.
Banana bombs. They're banana bombs.
That's not really doing anything for me either way.
So, what happened there was, I mean, KCM, he time added a billion times. He time added into oblivion, um, which I wanna touch on, and he just kind of rushed his opponent. Not unlike the first game, but this one's a bit different. I feel this one, because of the way ballroom is the courtyard too. There's a bit more, and I wanna go into it while watching the video. Actually, I'm gonna mute KCM. Because it's not his stream, is it? No, because I want to make sure that you guys hear what's going on. So he time adds here, and I mean he knows that time adds are a good strategy against Mr. Bacon. That Bacon doesn't often notice them. Um, Whoa, that's not what I mean. I want to show that, and that bug, I want to show that without a distraction here. This bug is just amazing because he uses the analysis of his opponent as a sniper and his angle. So you notice the angle of the laser here. Can I even see make out the laser? Whoa, not again. I'm so bad at that. So the laser is here. It's perfectly parallel. And so so he makes it so Bacon, he could see it, he could not. But KCM uses this knowledge and the geography of the map and the other, geography walking by, the AI, of course, and he uses that to his advantage to say, I think I'm gonna be able to get away with this, and it's basically in plain sight from any other view, and I think that's just, it's just a great play. I mean, the ambassador was there waiting for him, and he went for it, much like the rest of this. So he heads over to the CC. He just kind of, he chills, which I kind of put in air quotes because honestly, he doesn't chill at any point in this game. It is a constant frenzy. He walks right over here. He does the green BB. He just says, all right, well, I'm going to walk in. I'm going to green test because I know I can green test. And then I'm just going to head over here because of this giant, wall. It's not really a giant wall, but you get the idea. These people blocking Bacon's path to see what KCM is doing. These people just obscuring the view. And that read is great. That read really, I like it. I like how he pulls this off here. Because he BBs, and to my understanding does not get low lit here, even though that's kind of his goal to my understanding. But he goes for this nice microfilm transfer. And he uses the BB as the cover. He uses his analysis of his opponent as, a thinking human being, a smart human being, and uses it against him. Which, I mean, is kind of, in a way, what I've shown for almost everything here. But that's because I feel the combination of all three on some levels is the key to analyzing the party effectively. You can't just willy-nilly analyze the AI and just win that way. I mean, that's pathing and where they are if you're a spy. And sure, you can be great at that, but that doesn't mean too much always. So this part I want to pause at and just point out how nice it is that he went from he went here to here to here and then back over here, I believe. And he waits for this cover. I mean, to my understanding, from what it sounded like in the video, he's gonna do it anyway. But he says, all right, I'm gonna get this wall. I don't think Bacon will see me. And if Bacon does, that's fine. He deserves the win. And if he doesn't, well, then that's just tough luck. And it's those kind of plays. It's those kind of reads, understanding what's going on in the party that makes somebody, a great player that can really elevate a player from good to great or, okay to good. And if you can get that easily, if that comes naturally to you, then you are probably an amazing player or will become one. And I think that this is something that many players don't ignore, but it's hard to really consider. It's hard to really put into words, because if you notice, I'm covering 3 broad spectrums here, and I want to make sure people knew and understood why it's important. So he's somewhat patient here. I mean, obviously, it's not the most, all right, I'll chill around for the next 4 minutes, but he decides that he wants to finish it a bit awkward in the walking pathing stuff, and this part seems to bug him a bit because he's trying to finish it. He doesn't want any suspicion on his end, but he decides he wants to end it right here, and just kind of say to Bacon, all right, you catch me or you don't, because I'm not giving you any more time to figure this out. And with a green test on Purloin, not even gulping, which is probably the right idea here when you have so much time, he manages to use his own opponent, his own the geography, which is of course this, and the AI, which also in a way counters geography, and he just uses it so perfectly, and coughs while he's at it, because who doesn't just love that? Right over here. So, I'm not saying to play SpyParty or get anywhere near good at it. You need to understand this. This is for intermediate players and higher, actually. I mean, it's something I feel like I could work on. I don't feel like I'm bad at it by any means, but I feel like it's something everybody might not always be the most aware of. Analyzing the party is, I would say, a tough skill to really just kind of acquire. It's something I feel consciously considering and thinking about helps. Consciously understanding that it's there to be thought about and to figure out how to set up a good bug, how to use the pillar, say in Courtyard 2 or Courtyard, to your advantage when going for a swap or a bug or something, or how to best use your opponent's mindset against them. I mean, I know that I've tried to use like other things like lag against my opponent, and well, that's not part of this for a reason. I wouldn't suggest it. I mean, you can, but I wouldn't really say it's the best way to go about using this information. But as you could see from the games, there's a lot that can be garnered, a lot that can be gotten from looking at these games and saying, I think I understand how this works, and I'm going to use that to my advantage, whether it be the AI, the actual map, the geography, or your own opponent, which is, I mean, probably the strongest one. That's probably why they all heavily involve that. I would say the last one only involved it. I mean, it did, but it wasn't the largest part. I would say almost geography is more there, but it's a matter of opinion in a lot of ways. But figuring that out and being able to use it is amazing, and it can really be awesome for your game in SpyParty. I think tonight's a shorter tutorial, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's actually just gonna be the whole tutorial. It's not the shortest one I've done, but it's definitely not the longest one. And I wanted to go over this. I wanted to at the very least mention it and make sure people were aware of it. I don't fully know what I'm doing next week. I can't do Purloin. I cannot touch Purloin right now. I feel like a lot of people feel like it's the obvious tutorial Tuesday I want to do, but I can't. I just cannot, because Checker has said in the forums he's going to change it, and I'm not going to do a tutorial on a mission that's about to be changed for who knows how long. So right now I'm holding off on that. I'm going to figure out what I'm doing my tutorial Tuesday on, and I'm definitely going to tweet it out on my Twitter, which is just at Drawnonward, once I figure that out. Or maybe you can ask me in my stream sometime. which not now, when I figure it out, which I do just every night at midnight. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope, I really hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope to see you around. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.